I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hello and welcome to the SVU After Show-ish. I'm Yael Siegel. I'm so excited to have you here. I'm here with Taylor Gates.
Kind of here with me, here in spirit, together.
Welcome. Hold on. I'm hearing noises. Okay. Hopefully you all didn't hear that. So we are talking season 21, episode 17, as well as season 21, episode 18. We've got 2 episodes to go through. Before we begin, as always, we like to give you a little bit of a hotline, a little bit of a warning. If you find yourself in trouble and need someone to talk to, please reach out to RAIN. That is 1-800-656-4673, 1-800-656-4673. I know numbers.
It spells hope.
Yes?
It spells hope.
Oh, it does spell hope.
So you know.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
And of course, sometimes on this show, the story gets a little dark and we make a little light. So consider that your content warning. I feel like I'm going to say some things today that are not appropriate. And now you know.
That's what it's going to be.
That's what it's going to be. Taylor, what did you think of these episodes?
I thought they were fine. I was not like overly excited when I was watching them, but they definitely weren't I wouldn't say they were bad episodes by any means either. I think they were episodes. They're very middle of the season episodes. Although I did really enjoy getting to see more of Chief Garland. I think he's a really interesting character, and I hope that he sticks around a while because I think that he has a lot of potential to be a really cool character, and I really enjoyed kind of seeing him, thrown into the fire, so to speak.
I agree. I think that was really fun in the second episode, getting to get more of him, especially since he's staying. And I did like in the first episode that we got Khaldun back.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's jump into Dance, Lies, and Videotape. Okay. So we start with meeting the dancers. Cool. I was like, what is this scene where he's like, and your name, and your name? My notes were just a list of names.
You suck. You suck. You get an insult. You get an insult. Everybody here gets an insult.
Yep, that was it.
That was it. That was the scene.
And then Dehlia goes into Studio X. Nice one.
Come on. Could we call it anything else?
I just like when she's like, why do they call it Studio X? Girl, how old are you?
Because X marks the spot. That's why. What? Okay, sure.
Okay.
Great.
So anyway, she gets fired from her ballet class. Apparently, if you Google ballerina porn, she's the first thing that comes up.
Right, which why are we not being why are you Googling ballerina? Why are we not touching on the fact that they are just Googling ballerina porn?
That I like that that's when you're nitpicking. I nitpicked at it's at hardcore, and I went, no, incorrect.
No. The whole thing, the fact that it circulated that fast, they kind of had to have been looking, yeah, for her specifically. There's no way that they just stumbled upon that. I'm just saying, maybe we should be talking to our husbands, ladies. That's all I'm saying about this.
No, I agree. The fact that ballerina porn, a video went viral and it was tame. Anyway, whatever. Not the point. So she brings it to SVU. She's so sad about it. And then we go and meet, I'm jumping through this. We meet Alistair, who's talking to Benson about Barbara.
Can we just, I did like that. Can we just the names, Sasha and Alistair, could you have picked more cliche ballet names? I just loved that they were all right, the 2 most ballerina sounding names, toss them in there, add some spice in there.
It feels right. It felt right.
It did feel right. It felt organic,
Yeah. So he's letting them do the investigation. He's taking it very seriously, but we want to keep it private. We find lots of fluids in Studio X, and the camera has been ripped out. That takes us to, by far, the wastiest guest star appearance ever.
Yeah.
That was director John Waters as the PornMonger man.
Yeah, they hyped it up like he was gonna be like the guy in this episode, and he was in this scene that could have been done by like
Anyone.
literally me. Like I couldn't like. Okay, cool.
I'm really bummed that he wasn't involved because, like,
Me too, because they hyped it up, and I was like, okay, well, the rule says that he's definitely gonna be coming back. No, never seen again, never heard from again.
his character didn't even have a name. He's credited as PornMonger man.
Honestly, goals though should just be credited as PornMonger man.
So anyway, I really do like his bringing up of Rule 34, but also they're like, hey, you know what? Take it down, or we're gonna start searching for kiddie porn. And he's like, all right, fine, fine. But sorry, shouldn't we also go through his stuff and try to make sure there isn't kiddie porn? What kind of
Right? Like, why are we using like that's something we should do regardless?
right?
Okay, well, fine. Okay.
I would have loved it if they were like, do you want us to come back and see if anyone, if you have any kiddie porn? He'd be like, no, no, fine, I'll do it. Him do it and then be like, okay, now we're gonna do that anyway.
Right, like because that's what you should be doing. This is like your whole job, but
Yeah.
okay, fine.
Fine. I also really liked when he was like, did they teach you this at cop school? And then
I went to lawyer school.
law school. You went to law school.
He said lawyer school though.
I know. That's my
I
problem.
I loved it. I wrote it down in all caps because I thought it was so good. I went to lawyer school.
I would be like, I don't believe you're a lawyer if you don't know that it's law
If you
school.
talk like this, I don't think that you belong in front of a jury, but okay.
Right. I agree. So we find out that he got it from one of the dancers, Jason, who uploaded it but didn't record it because it was texted him from Brad, which takes us down this very obnoxious drain swirl path.
Yeah.
Path.
Sure. Yep.
So Dehlia is surprised that Brad was involved. What a shock!
His name's Brad.
Whoa.
Okay.
All right.
I'm just kidding, but I just do love that there's like Sasha and Alistair, like Brad and Jason. Like they're never gonna be at that level that their names are Brad and Jason, you know?
Rollins points out that he knew where the camera was. Benson says that the video was shared. There are others. And then they point out that the guys can't get fired. There are 20 dudes for every woman. So we see Benson talk to Alistair. We meet Sasha. He's clearly coming out of having sex with that woman.
Yeah, he's very clearly just like altogether sketchy.
Yeah, it was
like
I've
never trusted him for a second.
Yeah.
Ever.
So he's all annoyed that the women or that the guys aren't available, that they aren't there to practice. It's more than boys being boys, Alistair says. And he says, well, make sure it stops now and it won't happen again.
My favorite zinger from Olivia is like, well, piece of advice, set some time aside for the understudies. I was like, ooh, I love that.
I actually really liked that. I kind of wanted that to like continue the conversation.
Yeah.
It was a
great line though.
So Brad's mom is there. She's like, we're all going to turn on Jason. I was like, all right. I think it was interesting that they brought up that the law is worse for texting it around than for revenge porn because of the company's rights. And I was like, that's a fascinating topic. Yeah. Let's discuss that.
I agree. I thought that because I didn't know that. So I thought that was really interesting that they brought that up too. And how it's like a toothless bill, essentially. I was like, oh, I never realized that. Hopefully that'll change eventually.
Yeah, I was really excited to bring up the revenge porn laws, but then disappointed that they were like, yeah, turns out we can't use it. Moving on.
And this sucks. Well, bye.
So Jason doesn't know that. They put pressure on him. He tells us about Sasha's involvement.
I do want to say that I loved that Brad's mom decides to be their legal counsel. And my favorite quote from her, being an idiot is not illegal. I should know, I'm Brad's mother. It's just like, whoa, I love that. Like more of this.
It reminds me of another lawyer that we've had in the episode with Missy Pyle with the, there's like the sex party that then turns into a measles episode.
Yeah.
Where she's like, he's an idiot.
I just always love it when they're like, we understand that this person is stupid, but they're not a criminal. Like, I just always love how they, you know, they know
Tell
that
it like it is.
it's true, but from the love perspective.
Right. So Sasha's involved. He's pressuring women to have sex with him. And if they say yes, the video will disappear. We meet Dina, who has gone through the whole process. And I think it's interesting that Kat was like, she said she wasn't raped, so we drop it. And Rollins was like, no.
Incorrect.
Yeah. So she says, rape culture is such a part of this company, they don't even realize it anymore. It's forcible coercion, but they can't make that case. They need someone to break ranks. Delia's gone viral, blah, blah, blah about that. Benson tells her that Sasha knew. And then she's like, well, that's why Dina got her solo. She slept with him. And I was like, don't you shame her? Like, she was in your situation. She did what she had to.
Female dancers for every male dancer.
We're almost at my favorite line.
Already.
So Dehlia won't go after Sasha. He's gonna get what he wants, and here's the line. Straight male can't fail. Gay men, it depends.
Depends.
Girl in ballet, do what we say.
I mean, I don't know. I wonder if, do you think that's a real thing that people say?
I don't think that's a real, I'm guessing. I'm gonna let the audience tell us. If you're in ballet, please tell us. I think my issue, I like the thought of this quote. I don't like straight male can't fail. Love that. That, yes, works for a lot of industries, works for a lot of the world. Gay men, it depends. It's not a real rhyme. That doesn't rhyme.
Okay. I was like, do you not think that that's true? But I was like, I think that's kind of true. But then, like,
that's not a real rhyme.
The rhyme is
rhyme is the issue.
Rhyme, but it's not.
Yeah,
I agree.
Thank you.
That could use some workshopping.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's a real saying or not, because that's not a real rhyme. No,
it's true.
All right, so Kat goes to talk to a guy, Hudson. No one leaves ballet unless they're fight a cripple. He's not going to help. He said, come back and talk to me in a few years, because his career is essentially, he's holding on by a thread. He says, you want this life, you pay the price. I was like, another one of these non-rhymes. What's happening?
We're so close.
So close. So they all have too much to lose. We have to find somebody who's already lost, which takes us to Rose. She left the company because Jason made a sex tape. Sasha wanted his turn. She said no. He wouldn't take no, sorry. She let him do it. She got promoted. And he said that it was just between them, that he'd do it again anytime he wanted. She told Alistair, and he said that she could do better than Sasha, which takes us to the whole big twist, I guess, of the story.
Which I gotta admit, like, after this point, I was like, okay, like, this is interesting. Like, this is what I wish that we would have done the whole time with this weird auction thing. Like, that's weird.
I agree. I think that would have been a more interesting story to follow, is these dancers that are being used as dancers but also are being auctioned off.
Yeah, because I feel like even if you don't know that much about ballet, I feel like you know enough that everything they said was not surprising, at least to me. I was like, yeah, of course that happens in ballet. I don't know, just say, if you've watched any Bunheads, if you've watched any ballet media at all, like, I don't know, I just feel like all of it was like, yeah, this is not really exposing it, because I kind of figured. I don't know.
I agree. I think also because I have not watched Bunheads.
You should. First of all, you should do that during quarantine.
I also am not well versed in the world of ballet, but definitely believe that the amount of men to women in ballet is such a difference that the men can get away with things 100%.
Yeah.
So we go to our gala auction, where the dinner with the prima is more than dinner. And so Alistair will auction off the prima and tell Sasha to back down. And if not, if you say no, the sex tape will be released and you'll be blackballed. So we have the situation, and apparently the case becomes sex trafficking, which then leads us to an undercover sting.
Love it. I love the undercover.
Bring back Khaldun.
He's great. I really do like him and Amanda a lot.
I
I
agree.
know that you were you here for last time? I don't remember.
Here's how I feel. I feel like she should stop sleeping with coworkers.
Right.
But if she's going to, I approve of this.
Might as well be Khaldun. He just seems so like genuine. I don't know. I just really like him.
I like him too. I also think a very interesting tiny thing that should be pointed out is Benson is like, oh, we could say he has like oil money. And Rollins is like, or he could just be a venture capitalist from Silicon Valley. Like,
Right.
can we talk about these biases? Like that seems.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm actually surprised that that line didn't come from Carisi.
Yeah, honestly.
So anyway, Khaldun goes in as Nick Khan. He's moving to New York from Palo Alto, wants to donate to the art world. He wants to sponsor a Prima. And he goes, he takes Ashley to his suite. She offers him a drink. And then she's like, to be clear, it's just for tonight and safe sex only. So they come in, take her in. She's not under arrest, but she might be looking at prostitution charges if she doesn't turn on Alistair. Then they tell us the whole story. We know what's happening. We take down Alistair. We take down Sasha.
Everyone's taken down.
Everyone's taken down.
Being.
Yeah, I'm like skimming my notes. I'm like, yep, everyone's taken down. So Benson goes to talk to Dehlia at the end and tells her everyone's going to jail. They're working on taking the videos down. This is like, I feel like the second or third time we've had Benson tell a victim what happens to everyone else without us seeing the like lawyering part, which I don't love.
Yeah, agree.
And now the company has an all artistic team for.
Although I did really like how Dehlia was like, well, good for them, because it's true. Like, it is very important to like put females in these positions, but it doesn't exactly change everything all of the time. And so I did kind of like how she was not like immediately like, oh my gosh, that's great. Like, let me go back. I like how she's a little skeptical, because I think that's, I mean, it's a small moment, but I think that's also an important thing to bring up. Like, just because we do have women in these roles, like, doesn't mean that there's not still going to be corruption and stuff. Like, it's not just a fix-all problem. It's like so much more deeply embedded.
Right. Great point. Really good point. I don't understand why Noah, who started dancing recently, wasn't in this episode.
That is what I'm saying. Like, I thought he was going to be at the beginning where she was teaching, and then Olivia was like going to find out like through being there watching Noah dance or something.
That would have been so smart.
That's what I was like, oh my gosh, like Noah's gonna be in this class and like Olivia's gonna like talk to her there. Like, why did we not do that? That would have been such a good way to like get her involved. I don't know.
No, 100% good call.
I agree with you. Like, okay, it's fine.
All right, so this episode was actually ripped from a headline.
Yes, I told you guys about it during my predictions, I believe.
Yeah, so according to the Wikipedia page, I'll read this real quick and then we'll move to the next episode. In September 2018, an ex-girlfriend of a principal dancer at the New York City Ballet began civil action against the dancer and some other dancers, I'm skimming, claiming that they allegedly took and shared sexually explicit photos and videos without her knowledge or consent. Yeah, so this was video versus photo. You could definitely check this out if you look up New York City Ballet nude photos. Allegations. You might want to throw on allegations at the end of that sentence.
I mean, well, depends what you're looking for.
Yeah. Let's jump into season 21, episode 18, Garland's Baptism by Fire. Oh, this episode. Okay.
Wild.
So I'm switching the beginning a little bit just so that we can get it into chronological order. So Carisi and Rollins are visiting special frauds because a sticky-fingered church bookkeeper wants to flip. Love it.
Cool.
She says that this Reverend Chase had sexual relations with teenage girls and used church funds to pay them off. It turns out he's a personal friend of Garland's. That was where a dun dun would be. So
Dun dun.
thank you. Garland has Benson over for a dinner party to meet Rick Fox. I loved this. I thought this, specifically because of the way John Waters was treated, I thought this was it. Was we were just going to see Rick Fox in this opening scene. His name's Edgar, and he was a partner at Garland's wife's old firm. Carisi and Rollins arrived to ask Garland not to interfere with this case about Reverend Chase.
I did want to note Olivia's cardigan was bomb. It was such a cute outfit. I just had to say it because we never see her in like these cute outfits that aren't just like, I'm going to work. Like she's like a little cute dinner party outfit. I really liked it.
Nothing compares to her Super Bowl party undercover as a madam.
You're correct. But I did just like, I would wear this and you would wear that. You know, like
that's fair. So I love when they're like Reverend Chase, and Benson is like, wasn't that just him? The guy who just said grace?
The guy that just prayed with the okay.
So he is like family to Garland. He's been an advisor for over a decade. So Finn points out Garland's ministers doing teenage girls at his church. Thank you, Finn. Thank you for summarizing what's happening.
Dark Notes version.
Yeah. We have praise dancing. Is that a thing?
I mean, I probably somewhere, but I was just like, are we doing more Sex Lives of Videotape? Like,
I guess. I mean, I was very
back to back.
I was like, is that I've seen like at mega churches they have like, you know, choirs like a regular church would. Never seen praise dancing.
Yeah, well.
But also someone let me know if that's a thing.
Yeah.
So his wife is the co-pastor, and it's a for-profit church. They started a school. Garland lets Benson know that she's in charge and that he's going to be stepping aside, essentially. I really appreciated that.
I did too. I loved his attitude this whole episode, honestly.
Yes.
Like, we never get cooperative people. And so the fact he's like, yeah, like this sucks. I don't think he did it, but like, let's find out. Thank you. You're the one rational person that's ever appeared on this
show. Yeah, I do like that he stepped down, especially because the memory of him that I have, the like character memory is him going, I'm not going to tell you how to do your job, but do this. And I was like, wait a second. You said you're not going to tell us. Anyway, so he's stepping aside, but Benson's like, yeah, but we could use your help. So they go to the wife because we're worried about this whole embezzlement. I really like that they could do this entire investigation under the cover of there's this embezzlement case.
Yeah, it was smart.
It's so smart. So Benson and Carisi go with checks to the wife and they're like, these have been flagged. Can you help us identify what they are? Good call. So smart. They're checks to girls, students, people with family needs. The wife's like, this one's too high. It must be fake. And this girl's like, I wanted to go to medical school.
But like, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, I don't. Not believing it. Not buying it.
So then we have this whole back and forth with the girls, with the dorm mom and Renee and the other girl. It's a lot of back and forth. We have Garland and the Reverend playing chess in the park.
Like, is that something that people do in New York City?
Yeah, they're park benches or tables that are chessboards.
I realized that, but it felt so like House of Cards. Like they were alone in the park. They're dressed in these dark, like trench coats and hats, just playing chess. Like, it was just so like such a weird like ambiance. I don't know. I liked it. Don't get me wrong, but I was like, this just does not feel like this was out of place to me. Like usually we do like grabbing lunch or something like that. Playing chess in the park at like midnight. I don't know.
Yes, I agree. I do like the Rev is like, this is more comfortable than both of our offices. It's the middle of the night. Why are we not at one of your homes?
12 o'clock. Okay.
But essentially the Reverend's like, hey, protect your king. That's what he
I
says.
like that line a lot.
Um,
Super villainy.
It really is. So Finn and Benson visit the Reverend. He's about the checks, and he's like, "These are legit." So then they visit Renee's mother. Um, yeah. So then the dorm mom is like, "Renee's making all this up. She's lying. She stole the money. Maybe she's working with the bookkeeper." So then Rollins suggests that the only way to get Renee to talk is to be like, "Oh, you're a thief now." Which I mean, it reminds me of the episodes where like girls are trafficked and they won't talk against their pimps, and they're like, "We're gonna have to arrest you for prostitution."
Yeah. I mean, we kind of just did that in the last one with the girl in the hotel. But
As I said it, I was like, "Yep, we just did
I
this."
was like, oh, so then what we just did. And it sucks, but it is kind of smart. You know what I mean? Especially if they have no real like they're not actually planning on doing it. It's like
Right.
kind of over talk. So yeah, I mean it's like sad, but it worked. So
It worked. It got us the video. She was 15. We see his back. For those who don't know, that is played by the one and only Roger Cross. If you would like to see his back some more, I say check out Dark Matter. Anyway, uh, so Finn struggles with the idea that Garland didn't notice anything about his friend. Do we not remember Hank Abraham, whose wife Pippa is the one who protects children?
right. I mean, do we not remember all of the times that like come on, it just happens.
I don't know. I was like, why do we need this literal sentence?
Yeah.
Very weird. So they take the Reverend down. They tell him that there's an allegation of rape. There's a tape. The Reverend's wife goes after Garland. She's all upset. It's been 15 years. He's your kid's godfather. And Garland shows her the stills from the video, and she's like, "That's not him, ma'am. Obviously, you don't know his back."
But no, but that's what I was saying. Like I thought that maybe it wasn't going to be him. She was like, "Oh, well,
Oh,
he has like this scar right here. He has a tattoo right here. Like I would know." You know what I mean? And then there's gonna be something weird with that. But I really thought that maybe she had proof that it wasn't his back because she would obviously know what it looks like.
nah.
No, we didn't go there,
No.
but
So Garland's like, "Why would she lie? And the payments, and I can't do anything about this." And she's like, "Our relationship is over."
yeah, they were
Um,
savage.
yeah, I really liked that interaction with the wife and Garland, because we got to see him explain like he didn't want to believe it.
Yeah.
I did like that. Rick Fox returns. He is now going to represent the Reverend because he is the counsel for the church. And he's like, "All that's visible is a blackmail torso. It could be anyone."
Again, they're harping on the fact that it's not him. So I was like, maybe it isn't. Like maybe he just helped someone else do it. I don't know. But they just didn't go that direction. And I was a little bit sad because it's really hopeful.
Well, the Reverend's like, "I need to talk to her and pray with her." And Rick Fox is like, "It's extortion." And Benson's like, "But she didn't come to us." I really like every time someone's like, "It's extortion." And then the detective like, "Did they ask you for money?"
Right. Like, no, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Literal definition.
So then the Reverend Chase changes. This is where he changes the story a little. He says she had an unhealthy fixation, and then she found someone else to act it out. Carisi wants more victims, and so Rollins sees if any of the girls in the dorms will break rank. Um, Renee runs away. Her room is vandalized. The dorm mom,
Savage. Again, so savage.
with her like she's going to hell for lying. She's
Like,
damning
chill
her
out.
soul. Is lying a hell sin?
I mean, I think it depends on what you lie about.
All right. I don't know how that works.
And well, I do. I went to Catholic school for 12 years, but
Okay.
it depends on what you lie about.
All right, that's fair. So Finn and Kat find Renee. She's scared. Her world's turned upside down. Blah blah blah. Garland tells Carisi that they could make the case without Renee, but Benson suggests that we arrest him to get a photo of his back. I do like Garland again, like being like, please don't embarrass his wife.
Mm-hmm.
If that's not too much to ask. And Benson's like, we'll tell Rick Fox to bring him in. Edgar.
Yeah. And they're just like working so nicely together.
Yeah, it's weird.
It is. It's him used to tension.
Right. So then we get tension between Garland and the wife again.
Yeah.
The Reverend makes bail. And then he makes this statement on the steps comparing himself to Jesus.
Yeah. I was like, okay. And he compares Garland to Judas. I was like, relax. Relax.
But that's the moment that the wife turns on him, is when he attacks Garland. I wanted more on that. I wanted her to say, no one's greater than God.
Oh my gosh, you just so quoted one of the best episodes.
Exactly.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. I thought that's where we were going, but whatever.
Yeah.
Benson notices. She gets the wife to talk. She comes in. It's the first time she's lied to him. She says, after we spoke, I thought about what you said, that predators groom their victims under the cover of mentoring. I wish we would have delved more into that. She feels really guilty about letting it happen. She reaches out to the girls, asked for their forgiveness, and told them that they have permission to cooperate with the cops. The girls testify.
I really liked the directing here. I thought that was really cool how we had them all like facing the camera dead on and like at the exact same like place, and then like the different angle. Like I just really liked the directing there. I just wanted to say.
Well, I'll tell you, the director is Norberto Barba, who is the namesake of Barba, but also
he did a great job.
yeah, he's also was a showrunner on Grimm.
Awesome. Well, he crushed it because I was just like, ooh, that's really visually cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah. So Carisi gives Rick Fox and Reverend Chaseman his testimony. Reverend's like, she seduced me. Never a good.
Shut up. Literally
Never a good play. Then Carisi's like, oh, that makes sense, except for these other girls.
Yeah, I would be worried too, unless I had this.
I really liked that moment.
Mm-hmm.
It turns out they were all underage, but as soon as they became of age, he went for someone younger. And the Reverend demands to know who would plot against him.
Your wife, buddy.
Yeah, if you want to look for a Judas. Anyway, so Rick Fox visits Benson. I really love this Finn protective scene. I don't know what it was, what it's supposed to mean, where it's coming from, but I liked it. Rick Fox can't believe he didn't see it. He apologized for his part in it. I really love when everyone around you is like, oh, my bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone was cooperative in this, except for like obviously the people that were,
right.
Horrible people.
Benson is bummed that they met under these circumstances. He's like, samesies. And then that's what my note says, samesies. Garland visits Chase in jail. He pled guilty. And now he's like, this is my purpose. God put me here to minister to the souls behind bars. And I was like, all right, I'm out. I'm done.
Yay. I love how Garland's like just not having any of it though.
Yeah.
But then he starts crying and I'm sad.
I really liked Garland in this.
Me too, and I felt so bad for him because he was like his mentor essentially.
Yeah.
I like to protect him.
Yeah. Any vital thoughts on this before I move into news?
Let's move into news.
News.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Yep.
Okay. So for those who didn't hear or didn't notice at the end of this, actually the second episode, this episode was dedicated to Josh Walwork, who was a costumer, wardrober on SVU, who passed away from coronavirus, which is so heartbreaking. And so the episode is dedicated to him. On other coronavirus news, I think it was Vulture, did a series asking writers of shows to write a coronavirus episode, and there is one for SVU, and I will tweet it out.
To me. It's everything to me.
I will definitely be tweeting that out again. It's very short. It's very funny.
It's so silly. I like how they made it like kind of fun.
Yeah. And the other big news due to coronavirus is that our season has been shortened to only 20 episodes. There were supposed to be 4 more episodes. And in that news, they had said that they were going to have, in the finale, the return of 2 prominent characters from earlier seasons. That was showrunner Warren Leight said that. He confirmed it, that they were going to do that. And it, a lot of people were predicting Barba. I think Barba was a very safe prediction, speaking since we got to see him in the video chat, and he was name dropped from Alistair in the dance episode. So it was a big surprise that isn't going to happen, but I do have the answers as to who it was that was going to be revealed. It was actually going to be Stabler's wife and troubled son. That said, Kathy Stabler, played by Isabel Gillies, and possibly Dickie, who would be in his mid-20s, or Eli, Elliot Jr., who would be a teenager. So there's no confirmation as to which son, but Elliot's wife and son were supposed to return.
I'm just like, I can't handle it. This is
I'm building to the biggest news. It was announced that Christopher Maloney will in fact be reprising his role as Elliot Stabler on a show of his own. So that's happening.
I swear to God, guys, this news dropped on March 31st, and I was so convinced it was an early April Fool's joke. Like, I was convinced for 2 days that they were playing us, and then different news sources kept writing about it. People were confirming, and only on like March 2nd or April 2nd, finally like, okay, like I guess it's real. But this is unthinkable, honestly. I never thought this would happen, ever. Like, I thought that maybe he'd come back for like the series finale. This is nuts.
100% agreed. Couldn't believe it was going to happen. Definitely thought we would not see him in this role until literally the last episode. He would be there and that would be it. So the fact that he's getting his own show is amazing. And the fact that we could have had Kathy and either Dickie or Eli in this show, which could very, very beautifully translate to crossovers. I'm very excited. My only hesitation is whoever is writing the Stabler show needs to stay caught up on SVU so that crossovers make sense.
They need to know this show inside out, like, no question. I would not be mad if we had Neil Bear come back and run that show. Just saying, because we got some gems from Neil Bear. But yeah, regardless, I would not be mad if they had me run the show. Let's just put it that way. Guys, I'm available. I honestly will just go ahead and move to New York once coronavirus is over. If you need someone still. So putting that out there.
That is all of our amazing, such great news. I mean, it's a bummer that our season is shorter, but also like we're gonna get Stabler show.
So exciting, yeah.
Right. We've got 3 more seasons at least. Stabler's getting a show. Kathy and Dickie or Eli might show up.
Like, we're doing okay.
Yeah. All right, let's head into predictions.
Well, should I do my poll as well?
And now, your AfterBuzz
So we
TV.
had a poll that we tweeted on our last show, which was March 1st, so it's a second ago. But we asked you guys what your favorite Frenemies episode was. So sadly, Swimming with Sharks actually was in last place, which was such a fun episode with 9% of the vote, but that's fine. And then we had Mean, which is from season 5, which got 22% of the vote. Then we had Theater Tricks, which is iconic. Season 13 episode got 32% of the votes. And then Wet, season 12, won with 36.4% of the votes. That was very interesting finding, but it's fine. Theater Tricks was my personal fave. But I'm
surprised. But you know what it is? It's stabbing the captain with the pickle is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, that line is pretty hard to top. And then we also have a poll from this week, which we just did favorite dancer episodes, because there are quite a few of them. We have Ballerina, season 10, episode 16. That is the Carol Burnett episode.
Great one.
Choreographed, which is season 8, episode 9. That's the Bob Saget episode. I'm just going to go ahead and name guest stars in these. Yep. And then we have She Paints for Vengeance, which is obviously early in this season. such a great one. And then we have Dance Lives and Videotape. So I'm very excited to see what you guys choose out of there. I actually don't know which one you will choose. I honestly think maybe it could be She Paints for Vengeance. That was a good one. It's a solid one, and it's somewhat new. But yeah, so vote in our poll. Make sure you find me on Twitter. I'll tell you where to find that in a second.
Yeah. I love our polls. I always forget about them, but I love our polls.
I do too.
So let me tell you what's happening in the next episode, which is airing on April 16th.
Okay.
According to the trailer, girls are drugged with something that there's no test for. There's no evidence. And then it looks like the guest star is Eddie K. Thomas, I believe. Eddie K. Thomas, who you might know from the American Pie movies and other stuff. Scorpion, he was in Scorpion. That's what it was.
All right. Well,
any predictions?
I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of forgot to look up this promo, but I guess general predictions. I think that we might be seeing more of the people that we saw in this episode. Rick Fox maybe will come back. I think Khaldun might come back. We might see more of Amanda's family because she mentioned that she was seeing her mom. So I think maybe we'll just keep seeing people come back, and then yeah, I don't know. I think that we're in for a wild ride because they did say that this, even though they weren't going to be able to, air their last four, shoot their last four, that this was actually going to be a good place for a season finale anyway. So I think it's going to be crazy.
Yeah. So in the article, actually, one of the articles about the guest stars that they were going to bring back, they did say that episode 20, which is now going to be our finale, which airs April 23rd, it has a lot of return performances from perps and victims that we've met this season.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, I'm excited.
So maybe Rick Fox will return. I definitely hope that Khaldun will return.
Hadid, maybe.
Hadid, we got to wrap that up because she's evil.
Yeah. Something's happening with her.
Yeah. So my prediction is we wrap up her evil story and that we start season 22 with Khaldun joining the team. Those are my predictions.
I love those. I hope that they come true.
Awesome. Taylor, where can everyone keep up with you and the poll?
Yes, you guys can find me on Twitter at alphaba_Ann and on Instagram at Taylor_Gaze_.
Awesome. I'm everywhere at YaelTygiel. That's YaelTygiel on Twitter and Instagram, and maybe one day a TikTok. Who knows?
Yes.
And we'll see you next SVU episode because I'm watching it all the time, so I just have to know when it airs.
Yep, exactly.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.